Welcome to Global Retail TV. I'm Jalal Jihazi reporting to you live, and this is Retail Facts. We have with us today a very special guest from Millsboro, Delaware, Mr. Patricio Porras. Mr. Patricio, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. My pleasure. Good day to you and all our guests that are joining us today. Thank you.
Mr. Patricio, can you tell us a little bit more about your background?
Thank you for asking about my background. I'm originally from Ecuador, South America. My wife and I, we now live in Delaware, United States. I started working in the retail sector in New York City market at a very early age when I came to the United States. I learned about sales and customer service through osmosis, trial and error, because there was a lack of standards, no procedures, and no SOPs. It was work. Well, also back then, retail was not considered a profession or a career. I graduated to retail leadership positions and various responsibilities in markets. Eventually started my own training business focused on retail management with global brands throughout Turkey, UAE, Latin America, Europe, North America. And now I'm happy to be collaborating with global retail team.
When we say your name, the first thing that comes in mind is customer excellence. Can you tell us a little bit more about your program?
Yes, thank you. Our proposition is ACE, Awesome Customer Experience, that focuses on transforming a business's culture to be the best place to work and best place to shop. It's aimed at improving sales and customer service.
Why is it important for you to deliver an outstanding shopper's experience today?
Shoppers are guests, and every step and decisions in the business has to be aimed at adding value to the guest experience. Buying decisions are now made more based on the experience that the guests will travel through.
Can you tell us a little bit more about customer satisfaction challenges and how did you help some of the retail organizations achieve those?
The paradigm shift needs to be from traditional view to the customer as a shopper to appreciating and valuing them as guests. There are three very important principles in our foundation. 1, implementing sales and customer service standards. 2, a robust training for onboarding and continuing improvement development. 3, service recovery strategy, a strategy to resolve customer issues now within seconds without losing that customer or guest.
How do you see today the link between customer service and sales growth?
We see sales and customer service linked together and not separate. They impact each other. One affects the other. Sales cannot be optimized without the wow customer service. Likewise, if you don't have a wow customer service, you will not optimize sales.
According to you, Patricio, what is the ideal structure to have in place as a retailer to achieve an outstanding customer service excellence?
We believe that the ideal structure is, are you a retail organization that happens to make sales? Or are you a sales organization that happens to be in retail? Which one are you?
Thank you, Patricio, for your time and your insights. Please remind our audience how they can get in touch with you in case they have some future needs.
My pleasure, and thank you for this opportunity. And it will be a pleasure to join you again. I can be contacted through Global Retail TV website, where you can find my contact details. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching today's episode of Retail Facts with experts around the world. See you next time with some more retail topics.
Lidl and Aldi, the German supermarkets who targeted British shoppers by slashing prices and terrifying the opposition.
They came here with a plan and they executed it brilliantly.
I mean, who could have imagined all those years ago that they were going to be as successful as they've become?
From their arrival in the 90s to their 1,600 stores today.
Let's get in there and get some bargains!
The one-time upstarts have shaken the traditional retail giants by cutting bills.
Good for value.
In terms of saving money, why wouldn't you go to Aldi and Lidl?
It's a very affordable place to go.
Stacking the shelves with own brand goods.
Aldi and Lidl are infamous for the way in which they mimic brands, and in fact they'll even mock the brands themselves because they then come in massively cheaper.
And springing surprises in the aisles.
You walk into the shop and in the centre aisle are just these big bins with a random assortment of inflatable canoes and winter socks.
Once Britons were snobbish.
I used to see them putting Lidl stock in M&S bags because they wanted their neighbours to know that they'd been to M&S.
But now they flock to the tills.
We've had a massive shift. We don't have as much money. We don't have as much disposable income. And along came the great discount retailers. Just what we needed.
As new discounters enter the market, can they remain the cheapest?
They are marketing wizards, continually coming up with innovative marketing ideas.
So one of the new gimmicks they've got is this £1.50 fruit and veg basket. It contains the stuff that other supermarkets would have considered too ugly to have used. And this is a brilliant idea.
Will their expansion continue?
The discounters are relentless how they go about business. And it's been a huge success story. And I believe we'll see this going on for the next 15 or 20 years.
And which of them will finally be crowned the undisputed discount king?
I hate the fact that everyone thinks they're the same, even though they're very different.
They're both very focused, very determined to win. I wouldn't bet against either of them.
But whether there's enough space for both to thrive as well as they have done in recent years, I'm just not sure.
Both stores had developed their own branded range of goods. Aldi's quickly became renowned for their cheap prices and their familiar packaging.
Aldi's always been quite blatant about copying its brands.
Their packaging will look as close as possible to your Heinz tomato ketchup or your Kellogg's cornflakes.
It's got its own version of Mars bar and its own version of the Snickers bar, which looks similar, just much cheaper.
The imitation game isn't limited to everyday goods. This apparently luxury item caught the eye and nose of regular customer Jerry French.
They do a very nice line in scented candles, and this one is lime basil mandarin. And it smells like Joe Malone lime basil mandarin, except I think they're $3.99.
Now, the price of a Joe Malone candle would cost more than 10 times the price of that. But Aldi developed its own version, which smelt remarkably similar and in nearly identical packaging, and it flew off the shelves.
My night cream, my usual brand, costs approximately 5 times what I paid for that, and it's brilliant. Eye makeup, under a tenner, I think it was $5.99. It's got a proper brush. I mean, it's good quality stuff.
The German discounters have come up with other methods of capturing shoppers' attention, including one distinct layout feature. Some know it as Treasure Isle Land, the Isle of Wonder, Lidl in the middle, or simply the middle aisle.
When you walk into the shop and you've got bread on the left and maybe dairy on the right, and in the centre aisle are just these big bins with a random assortment of inflatable canoes and winter socks.
I've got a cordless drill, I've got a pressure washer.
You can get an absurd number of different things in the middle aisle in Lidl. I mean, I've seen camping stoves, riding kit, wetsuits, inflatables, garden gnomes, you name it, they've probably at some point sold it.
The thrill of, going in for some milk and coming out with an inflatable, cat island.
This was only £4.99.
And then something will catch your eye and you'll go, look, wow, that's incredibly cheap for a watering can.
There's pillows on offer, there's dog beds on offer.
Oh, I think I need that massive patio log burning stove,
A couple of water butts, plenty of rain to fill them.
As well as being unpredictable, the goods on sale in this part of the stores are ever changing.
So the middle aisle is called the wigging, which is when it's gone, it's gone. And it means exactly what it says. These goods will be here until they're sold.
Simple, but clever. The tactic helps bring customers back again and again.
The middle aisle is actually a crucial part of the business model.
It's a real battle for all supermarkets to persuade customers to return week after week to their shop. What the middle aisle does at both Aldi and Lidl is it gives reasons for customers to pop in, see what the bargains are, and then they might stay and do the weekly shop.
Both supermarkets have given customers a further reason to keep returning: quality.
In 2018, Lidl won for the second time Best Supermarket Own Brand Spirits, beating the likes of Waitrose and M&S. And that has translated into sales. Gin sales in 2018 at Lidl went up by 41%.
In 2011, Lidl also introduced in-store bakeries, placing them at the front of shops in the hope of enticing customers in.
So Lidl, surprisingly, is a really good place now to go for your fresh croissants or pain au raisin. They're very good quality and they are a fraction of the price of the big supermarkets.
So, how does a discount croissant stack up against a more expensive rival?
Very nice. Yeah, quite buttery taste.
Bit salty.
Taste-wise, not a lot in it.
I think that's a bit dry. This is slightly softer in texture and
Premium Lidl.
It's the wrong way round.
Really? Wow.
I would think the nicer one was premium, but I'd be excited if you told me the other one was.
The one you liked was the one from Lidl.
Is it? Okay. Well, yeah, I'd prefer it. It's way nicer.
5 out of 8 preferred Lidl croissants over a big-name brand, nearly 3 times the price. With their prices already low, the discounters have had to respond with more imaginative promotions. Earlier this year, Lidl began selling 5-kilo boxes of fruit and veg for £1.50. The unique selling point? All the produce is discoloured or damaged and would otherwise have gone to waste.
They're really impressive on the marketing front. For example, the fruit and veg that is rejected by other supermarkets, they've actually delivered as an attribute. They're offering fruit and veg that might look different but taste exactly the same at a much lower price.
Now, other supermarkets had made a big play about selling wonky veg and supporting farmers. Lidl, very cleverly, said, no, we're not going to waste the slightly old, possibly slightly damaged fruit that other supermarkets would throw away, and we're going to give you an amazing bargain. So for £1.50, it's potluck. You don't get to choose what's in your box, but this is what we got. Tomatoes, which look super fresh to me.
Bananas, that's probably another 3 days there. Potatoes, if they're kept out of the light, they should be all right for ages. I have an allotment, so I know.
Those bananas are pretty ripe. Yeah. Those mushrooms are going on turn.
That's a marrow, I think? Or is it a large courgette? Who knows?
I mean, that aubergine's more or less perfect.
That's nice and soft. Does that mean it's right?
Extra extra large avocado.
Some will be perished, but some won't. And at £1.50, you shouldn't really argue that, should you?
If you were to give me that today, I could go home and cook it.
I mean, it is an astonishingly good bargain, and the quality to me looks, you know, pretty decent.
More supermarkets maybe should do it. Not convinced they will.